Hi everyone. In today's video, we'll be discussing the chapter 2 of Business Studies for O-Level Grade 11, which is about motivating employees, more particularly the people within a business. So stay tuned, focus, and all the best of luck. Okay, so Unit 2 in the book by Collins for Business Studies O-Level is actually covering people in business. It's very, very important that you know the essence behind actually motivating your employees to get the most productivity or the most out of them. So, as I mentioned before, it's really important for you to know how to motivate your employees, especially how a well-motivated employee will be able to work and give hard to the business and produce more and contribute more to the profitability of a business. As you can see here, these are the final exam revision topics for grade 11 business studies O-level. In this video, we'll be covering the topics which are related to motivating employees, as you can see here. The importance of a well-motivated workforce, methods of motivation, financial and non-financial rewards. And at the end, we'll be covering the knowledge check page 85, knowledge check page 94, which is really important for you to know and to how actually answer it accurately. Alright guys, so here we are with the knowledge check on page 85 about chapter 2, the first topic, which is why motivating employees is so important. Okay, as you can see here on the screen, the first question is actually identifying the different levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Second question is explain why safety needs are important to employee motivations. Identify two problems that arise when applying Maslow's theory into practice. Explain Tyler's view of employees' motivation. Question number 5. Outline the main points of Herzberg's two factors theory and explain, let me show it to you here, and explain why having motivated employees is so important to business. And you have to give two reasons actually. Okay, for these following questions, the answer might be right here when I actually explain. So just follow up with me with this slide. Alright, so as you can see here, motivating workers 2.1 as in the book based on Collins' book, IGC's O-level. People work to earn money, right? And fulfill the basic necessities and wants so they can buy whatever they want to need. But there are several other reasons for work as well. That means not everything is about money. Motivation is the reason why employees wants to work. Of course, if you're not well motivated within a workforce, you will not work. If you don't feel that you're motivated, why would you work? I mean, we always say it. You have to love what you do. So that means you have to love what you work for, or you have to love the company, or you have to feel satisfied at least. Okay, we have to actually target different criteria of how to motivate an employee. Money is the main motivator for most of us. As explained above, other factors that may motivate a person to choose to do a particular job may include social needs, which is the need to communicate or interact with work and others. Esteems, which is the respect for yourself. How do you value yourself to feel important, worthwhile? Another thing is actually job satisfaction, to enjoy good work, and last but not least is the security. Security is something very important for most of employees around the world within any particular business entity, whether they're working in a construction field, whether they're working in an office, they need to feel safe. Everyone needs to be safe so they can motivate themselves to work more and more. That means knowing that your job and they are secure. Not only the conditions, also the money, the salary that you receive, it has to be secured, it has to be granted that you will not lose your job. Another thing is the feeling or the fear of losing your job is something very, very bad. And that's why we need to understand the factors that motivate these workers, because from a common sense perspective, I mean, everyone would say that money would motivate everyone else. I mean, whenever you're working in any conditions, under any conditions, maybe money could compensate you more upon other things that you're missing in the workforce or in the workplace. So why motivate workers? Why do we have to motivate our workers? Why do firms go to the pain of making sure their workers are motivated? When workers are well motivated, they become highly productive and effective, and which is a high tip-top condition for most of companies when they want to be successful among the competitors. They must have a very high motivated workers. The firm's efficiency and output will be determined upon these factors of motivations for your employees. Normally, these motivated or highly motivated employees will have higher profits. For example, in the service sector, for example, an airlines or taxi company, if their employee is unhappy at this work, he might act lazy and be rude to customers, which will lead to low customer satisfaction. It's something very bad for most of businesses actually. When an let's say customer or a consumer that comes and uses service and he's not feeling that he's been treated right, this is something very bad. This will reflect on the reputation, on the productivity of your business as well, or even the sales rate. This will lead, as written here, to low customer satisfaction, which is more complaints and ultimately a bad reputation and low profits. This is what I just said right now. So be careful when it comes to motivating your employees. It's not always about money. There are many other factors that affect these, let's say, motivations. So now, after we took a glance about the importance of a well-motivated workforce, we have to go more deep, let's say, under the surface and target the theories that affect the motivation of an employee or a human being. Okay. So after we targeted the first part, which is explaining why it's important for motivation to be understood for a business student, why do people work? Money, we have different types of motivations, okay? And as I just mentioned before, money, social needs, esteem needs, job satisfaction, and security. For me, mentioning this again and again and again because it will be included in the first questions about, or the first question about the identification of different levels of Maslow hierarchy of needs. As I can show you here, this is the question, okay? Identify the different levels of Maslow, or Maslow is a hierarchy of need, or hierarchy of needs, different pronunciation, British and American. So we go back. What are the levels of the Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs? We have actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different levels structured and 3 different criteria or categories, okay? So for the first important thing is actually the basic needs. So these are the levels, guys. The levels are the basic needs, psychological needs, and self-fulfillment needs. For the basic needs, these needs are related to the psychological needs such as food, water, warmth, and rest, which is shelter, definitely. And also the safety needs, more higher grades and level. It's a hierarchy, so it goes from the bottom to the top like a pyramid. Safety needs, which is security, or actually safety. So we have 2 more important things goes with the basic needs here, which is the security, which are the security and safety. For the psychological needs, which is the feeling of belongingness and love needs. Intimate relationships, friends, the workforce, the atmosphere, the everything about how you actually interact with other people. That's what psychological needs. What one of the psychological needs levels here. Okay, so we move more up the pyramid with the psychological needs, where we find the esteem needs. So esteem needs, as I mentioned before, it's about value and respect in yourself, and you feel like you're worthwhile. So the prestige and feelings of accomplishment, okay? And right at the top of this pyramid or the hierarchy of Maslow, hierarchy of needs, we find these self-fulfillment needs, okay? For the self-fulfillment needs, it's related or actually specialized in self-actualization, which is understanding yourself, estimating yourself with a very high level. Achieving one is full potential. That means this is what I want, this is where I should be belonging to, including creative and or including actually creative activities or being creative. As I mentioned, the answer for the question was actually the levels where we are heading right now. The first level is actually psychological needs, safety needs, belongingness and love needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization. Okay, so just answer these with the following order and write the examples or the meaning behind them, such as if I say belongingness and love needs, it's going to be intimidate or interaction, relationships, friends, workforce. And if I actually say psychological needs, there are four main types of these psychological needs, which are the food, water, warmth, and rest. So this is the answer for question 1. Let's head to question number 2. Okay, for question number 2, which is related to the explanation why safety needs are important to employee motivation. Okay, in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, as you can see here, just have a second. All right, so the first stage of an employee, he wants or she wants or they want to achieve their psychological needs, the food, water, warmth, and rest. Second, they will look forward to have the safety needs, which are security and safety. If you go back to your book, page 80, the safety is freedom from stress and a sense of stability. This is what the employee wants to achieve in their lives. Work helps to satisfy these needs by providing money to buy security. With money, people can afford to live in safe accommodation. This can afford to avoid risk, and they may be able to save some money so they feel confident about their future. Freedom from the fear of losing your job is dismissed. Okay, for the third question, which is related to the identification of two problems or two criticisms that arise when applying Maslow's theory in practice. Okay, Maslow's theory or hierarchy of needs is only a theory, right? So it does not necessarily fit all people and all situations. So the criticisms might include, and you only have to choose two of the following three that we mentioned. Okay, the first one is there will always be exceptions to any general theory. That means not all theories will be accepted with all people. For example, employees may place little value on gaining praise or developing their potential. For example, if you're an artist, a musician, you might seek creative needs before financial rewards. That means you might seek fame before you look forward to have more financial rewards. Second, even if Maslow's theory is true, employees might have different level of needs, and they cannot actually let's say target all the criteria of these needs. Some of them will look always for psychological needs and safety needs, but not for self-actualization and esteem needs. Some of them will only look forward to have the self-actualization needs and esteem needs as a motivator for them, but they won't focus or they won't pay attention to the safety, security needs. And that's what's meant by that this theory cannot fit all employees, because employees will seek different levels of motivation. The third one or the last one is actually every individual is different. Every single one is different. We have different mindsets, different natures. We follow different trends and so on. So what motivates one person? Money, perhaps. If I'm getting motivated by money, it might not be motivated or motivational to someone else. It could be argued that in practice the theory is of little use. Okay, so these are the three. The first one is, I'll repeat them again. You can find them on page 82. The problems or the problems of Maslow's theory or the Maslow's pyramid of needs. There will always be exception to general theory. Even if Maslow's theory is true, employees might not seek all levels of needs within the workplace. Third, every individual is different, so what motivates one person will be different from what will motivate another one. Okay. So if you want to have a look about more simplified answers for the two problems that you might include in your answer, these two are the most simplified answer for the question, okay? And these needs not to apply to all employees. All humans are different, difficult for managers to determine which needs their employee needs. Now let's head to question number three. Question number three is it's actually question number four, which is talking more about the second theory or the social theory about how to motivate your employees, which is called F.W. Taylor's theory. Okay, so the question state that you need to explain Taylor's view of employee motivation. Okay, how does he see it? Okay, and how does Taylor differentiate from Taylor theory differentiated from the Maslow hierarchy of needs? Okay, for the first glance, you can see that employees are motivated by money. This is what mostly focused by this theory. Okay, more money equal to employees become more motivated. Okay, but we still have some criticism about this theory as well. The three most important criticisms are: employees can be motivated by other factors, not just money. There's no guarantee that all employees will work harder if they are paid more. Okay, that's critically obvious. I mean, guys, you can understand that I told you before, it's not always about money, but this theory refer to that everything is about the money. Okay, the motivation comes out of the more money you have for employees. There's no guarantee that all employees will work harder if they are paid more. I mean, that means, what if you pay more for an employee but he doesn't do more? The third and the last one is actually there are many jobs where output cannot be measured easily. Difficult to determine if employee actually works hard. Okay, for the last but not least, for the fifth question actually, we will have to outline the main points of Herzberg's two-factor theory, okay? So he has another theory about motivation and about motivating employee in more particular. So Frederick Herzberg's theory, they contain two main factors. The two main factors are the hygiene factors and the motivation factors. So when it comes to hygiene factors, you have to focus on the working conditions, salary and job status, company policy, benefits, working relationships. On the other hand, motivation factors will be related to the recognition, achievements, level of responsibility, and need for personal growth. The question stated that we need to mention the 2 points, right? So here are the two main points, the factors, the hygiene and motivation factors. Workers expect hygiene factors to be available to them, otherwise they will become demotivated. They will not feel that they're satisfied at the work. For the hygiene factors here, will not motivate the workers, only motivation factors will make the employees work harder. That means this hygiene will make them work harder, okay? They will not motivate the workers. Only motivation workers here in the Frederick Herzberg's theory will refer to motivating the employees, okay? So these are the two main factors, hygiene factors and motivation factors. Okay, for the final question, question number 5, I guess, regarding chapter 2, motivating employees. We need to, it's actually question number 6, explain why having motivated employees is so important to business, and you have to give 2 reasons, okay? Definitely after you watched this video and you went through the explanation of how you motivate your employees, you know many reasons, and you know how is it really, really critical and essential for a business to have a motivated employee, right? So give some reasons and write them down in your notebook and then compare them to the reasons that I'm gonna give next. Okay, you can have lots of reasons, but there are many common reasons that will lead you to understand how motivation is really leading the company at some points. Okay, so I'll give you some times. You have 5 seconds to think of what is the first thing that pop up to your mind, okay? And what is the first reason? I can show you now here some reasons, okay? If you go back, refer to your book 78 or 79, page 79, you can find the benefits, all right, the benefits, but I'm willing to have your own answers because this is based on your understanding, but there must be a key term that you use for each point when you mention, okay, such as workers are more productive. Here I use productive, that means they increase the productivity, okay, that results in higher productivity. For number two, they are more creative because they love what they do. So pride in the work, which leads to improved quality eventually. Third, retention levels are higher. That means loyalty to the business, reduce labor turnover. Companies benefits financially for the fourth point that you can mention. If you go back to your book, you find many other reasons, such as commitment to the business. That means this will reduce absenteeism. They will not go off of a business. They will not stay home for long. They will feel like they need to come. They have to. They love it. Guys, that was everything for chapter 2. Revision for the first topic in chapter 2, motivating employees, covering up the knowledge check page 85 with the points of the importance of a well-motivated workforce, okay? So wait for my next video, which will be about the measures of motivation, financial and non-financial, covering up the knowledge check page 94, and also heading up to the next video with organization and management. So stay safe, all the best of luck. I hope it was beneficial to you, and see you soon.